今日は渋谷のガストですね。ちょっと渋谷のガストです。今日は電池がなかったんでですね、今日は光ファイバーの研究をしよう。The concept of solution self-frequency bulk shifts has been introduced, printed in ファイバーです。この図はコンピューション depend on the argon ionization area and pulse intensity using full mode. Here the hence time average on the express 1. Where the introduction the following research direction perturbation theory or solutions. However, in following the shape flow scale, a solution decreases amplitude. However, ionization slows the potential will limit the propagation rate on the transit. It can be seen that the express tends small through the cylinder effect can be estimated as 0. 今日2行いきましょう。ファイオーダー、アイオナイゼーション、one of the gauge transformation equation, ionization order。最初もう終わらせといてやります。The last hand, right hand side, interaction condition, non-linear operation. It's the present algorithmic expression, pure random state, since Raman state. Color two big solution, Raman average. Clear representation for the pure dynamic plasma show figure 6. Figure 6 intensity proof from time the improvement inside PCT. Spectrogram with the technical profile inside technical plan. Where the present here the option the second solution. Spectral evolution, energetic pulse, and under the influence of higher depression conference with the situation universal process. We have presented detailed mass the evolution of the pulse complex evolution study propagated gas HEVC under the influence of the non-linear frequency effect. We would like to thank you and prove the anti-virtual emission of photon pair quantum zero blockade propose a new methodology named quantum zero blockade mantle scattering photon generation on many silicon microscope atom bowl. The object to determine generation change photon non-linear optical media arise fundamental for the segregation nature of photon pair emission process because quantum random in the many photon pair are integrated vacant area. Color level transmission diagram photon generation absent CPU when the angle emission present. Using the process treated method approach rates the following equation the nesting matrix. The scattering of photon pair made the microscope immediate of cell. The winner present particle implement of the cause anticipated emission of the pair under toroidal microscope whose fabrication technique are proven. Non-linear optical have been developed. A schematic setup the determination generation the integrated photon pair using micro-emission coupled with the bezel. For this system, determine the correction number of point can be achieved or the home just increase for the pair generation inside the cavity. American chemistry など今日は光ファイバーです。Two photon correlation on broadband amplitude spontaneous wave mixing. We measure time energy correlation bond spontaneously see the wave mixing FWM demonstration normal time frequency coupler effect. Both PDC and FWM augment the similar equation. Both find the boundary narrow band pump correlation. Both match generate any correlation field. A measure for the mixing spectrum difference mix level is a random motion index for amplitude. We directly measure the time energy correlation between the single ideal recording spectrum SFG while the scanning detail between single areas. The observed spectrum SFG peak shows the similar spectrum pump parallel of the PCF. The time independent equation for the single and the small phase for the single idea. In spite of the similar, clear that the function differences depend on general phase matching pump identity. In condition both of the pulse demonstrate unique photon coherence. This result is supported molecular spectral property of the photon pair generated spontaneous for the wave mixing information for the crystal fiber. For the photon pair generated pumping shielded pair laser ranging a useful 10 km metrics of the retrieval of brightness. Phase. A phase matching function spontaneous for wave mixing only PCF. According to the joint spectrum into the written as the schematic illustration in homogeneous constant segments. Simulation spectrum phase matching function, the inhomogeneous PCFs simulated inhomogeneous difference configuration, homogeneous species ranks respectively. Normalize the JSI homogeneous homogeneous structure same with the ranks. In general, beta the fabricated higher will be. For the AGVM condition, the compute subsequent parameter each the figure. Experimental setup text in detail. Ensure further fund with sufficient condition experimental will replace non-real widths. When the central wavelength is band or scan, each wavelength point to the major single conductor, but the major conductor additional conductor. Next, in the conclusion, homogeneous basic spectrum over phase matching function, major spectrum of the individual single photon. It is worth pointing out the single spectrum of the original seek the direct simulation that's the length of the spectrum reality. Finally, we study influence in homogeneous fabrication photon paired measurement on the individual signal field. This work supported by the China. Further to physics. High-speed diameter photonic crystal fiber beyond the femtosecond solution with a dispersion Fourier solution. Light source beam propagation solution optical fiber image complex solution needs a venture for short-term pulse. Experimental setup share laser. Experimental setup schema experimental setup in the figure laser. Laser rates a dispersion curve showing zero dispersion wavelengths. A numerical simulation in the further the barrier expansion result we simulated propagation femtosecond pulse. The numerical solve generated non-reassuring equation including dispersion Raman response effects. Expand the spectral wake up to the transform limit pulse. Experience the solution function wavelengths of the pulse. Interfering automatic conclusion heresy. Spectral couple power the chip the rim pad. The solution phase proton the highly enlarged pump. 5 bars commission and the simulation the same wavelengths obtained the sample with achieving the power the suit of fiber. Simulation spectral evolution along the fiber shown the same strong figure. We have presented high speed on the capable generated transmit limited range of short numbers of photonic crystal fiber. Wave angle radar are based on the system of the spectroscopy. Separation on self-phase modulation, the radar transformer system using optical fiber on the Subaru telescope. New laser applied the system called the weakened telescope. The nonlinear effect, same modulation phenomena such as the optical in the phase shift to the phase of laser beam. Experimental setup specification on the laser show table, which is mentioned above. In order the radio speak for the above SPM instead the optical module device laser pulse into the for the pulse before the input PCF. Figures show the pulse before the after pulse of the optical system. The brightness along the wavelengths. Discussion. We found the SPM covered the corridor fiber system probe the covered loss laser power. Major spectrum, solid and dasher spectrum pulse system respectively. As a result of measurement of separate the pulse spectrum brightness 7 includes the best SPM. Award. Stable 続きまして stable アーカイブです。stable in the photonic archive. According to this, mass alone to extend the solution is non-linear activation of physical setting. However, it has recently shown the context common experimental special inhomogeneous difference nonlinear with the strength goes toward the proper measure of support stability sort diminution. There are that's above the parameter. With the non-zero growth rate, they focus on nonlinear different bright fundamental multiple vertical sort of extension. This was similar results obtained for the type of localized mode includes multiple vertical solution. For example, the special process algorithm, the pressure sensor. Finally, we demonstrate vertical our sensor switching detection in NPS. Acknowledging which is supported standard fellowship, Stanford. The merchant nano technical. 魚関係どういったイメージコンピューターのファイバーデバイスイメージのファイバー PC センサーアルゴリズムをキャビティ一緒でイメージfrom the dependent well-known system fish from which is the pressure fiber sensor the wavelengths pressure sensor fiber the PA concentration laser pumping wavelengths ionization includes symmetric self-phase includes modification instability gas fiber photonic crystal fiber in later shows the theoretical point the gas excess phase ionization included. Number unit loss when they quanted the picture with the going describe. It's separate dependent on many frequency standard difference value frequency greater fiber. Assuming the homogeneous inequality found. Numerical simulation to avoid ancestral simply modifier. Strong propagation the investigator is called numerical propagation instance relative pulse. Designing all the absorbing photonic crystal fiber with access single properties. A typical cross section includes as shown in the figure. Model solving BPM equals the correlation with the in the most technique the propagation obtains the concept with the expression determine how the model information BPM results. Algorithm made the account of error solving equation the detailed technique found. Plot function normalized frequency range the steps. Dispersion features the mode. We need the simulation of the structural sequence mode. Hexagonal structure the similar with the whole. Hexagon component electric fundamental mode, first mode, consider whole. Combine the electric field fundamental mode, first mode, whole. Analytical method will provide application found wavelength structural parameter. Photonic crystal fiber was a photonic main method. This is the seven. Electrostatic equation solving light optical fiber. I investigated general final wavelength fiber, coherent optical wave. I enlisted data. We propose discuss calculation for the wave introduce electro-optical fiber. For particle calculation is definitely employ the linear system. Within the variation means expression results using equation. Normally the extra optical density, the kinetic energy density, the photocrystal fiber are standard fiber. Let's discuss above results right extra mode the fiber section. Neglecting the expression we have conclusion the consider electrical force or the evolution of photon wave target generation fiber interaction. 続きまして A simple method for measurement zero dispersion wavelength optical fiber. We propose very simple method for the measurement zero dispersion wavelength optical fiber as well as the ratio between the for the dispersion term. Maximum in the laser processor the pump the Z wavelength optical Who's on the phone, the two bump the progress, the characteristics depend on power. Bump raise the frequency. Remember the error between the special pump wavelengths fraction. In the expansion test institutional method, fabrication determines similar parameter. Expand the spectral pump wavelengths of the pump. Graphical relation between the computer control and mixture relation based parameter gap correspond to Partition method. We have present a simple, accurate, better method to measurement of optical fiber. Case around. Control the method dispersion measurement technique. Coherence. Still photonic crystal fiber mapping. 今日フォトニッククリスタルファイバーです。オプティカルファイバー、フォトニッククリスタルファイバーです。We analyze module includes a parallel barrier dispersion only optical fiber. 今日はクリスタルファイバー。Crystal fiber. We will include only the optical fiber. Crystal fiber. Reference mathematical method, classical mechanics. Self-modulation, non-blind wave diffusion, experiment, and theoretical physics. Propagation, engineering wavelengths. Introduction, motivation, parametric resonance. Parametric resonance, a well-known instability phenomenon with the Oka system parameter with the periodic during evolution classical treatment reference. The combinational explanation in terms of greater access process, acceleration, methodification. Modelization of quantitative theory, analytical and numerical analysis determine the direction for the goal. Mentioned with the approach of optical definition pair. In the computer theory, mathematical calculation includes all the system rules. Notice a consistent dispersion term should the magnetic participation or stability. Estimate the resonant frequency gain in system. We note the parameter with the suppressed formula the stability in the normal. Estimate the resonance of frequency particular system solution for calculate the complex for the average value. If set similar stability. Fiber.